So first of all, congratulations on taking what is obviously a big step towards better and optimal health. Thank you also so much for entrusting us with your care. You know, it is a big deal and certainly something that we don't take for granted. And I can assure you that we will do whatever we can to help you get the best results that you can get. And let's face it, in healthcare, results are the only thing that matters. Now, so many patients ask us what else they could do to help facilitate their recovery. Well, one important thing is to realize that health, believe it or not, is actually your natural and normal state. Believe it or not, it is normal to be healthy and it's normal to feel good. And no matter what you've been led to believe, it's definitely not normal to not feel good. Think about it, but any symptom that you may currently have is not the real problem. It is just a sign from your body or your body's intelligence that something that you have done or you've been subjected to has interfered with your body's natural and normal working state. And that is why merely masking or treating symptoms will never, ever work in the long term. If you want to be healthy, you must correct the actual cause of the problem. And that's what we are helping you to do when we balance your zones and remove nerve interference. We are simply helping your body to adapt and function better so it can heal better. So in the next few videos, I'm going to discuss a few other things that will certainly help you get and stay healthy, starting with the 4 natural laws of the body. And just like any of the rules and regulations that we face in our day-to-day lives, these natural laws are no different. If you continually break or fail to adhere to them, well, sadly, you can expect to pay the price and suffer the consequences. So what are these 4 immutable laws of nature? Well, they are the law of nourishment, the law of movement, the law of recuperation, and finally, the law of sanitation. So, number 1, the law of nourishment. Now, as I'm sure you would agree, considering so much has been said and written about nutrition, food, and diets, it's very, very easy to become totally confused as to know what's good for you and what's not good for you. You know, every week almost there are new suggestions and new guidelines, and the so-called science seems to change its mind on a whim. You know, how often are we told one thing only later to be told the complete opposite? For example, just look at fat. First we're told it's bad for you and it causes heart disease and it'll kill you. Then they say it's essential for you. We're told breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Then we're encouraged to follow intermittent fasting, you know, because of autophagy and things like that. We're told to lose weight by eating several small meals. Then we're told that that doesn't work. We're told sweeteners are good for you, and then they're not. They're toxic. We're told supplements are a waste of money, and then we're told suddenly that they are essential. So you get the picture. There's lots of conflicting, information and ideas and advice out there. In other words, what you should or should not be eat can be very confusing. Well, hopefully we can help you cut through the confusion and develop a simple and, importantly, a workable and practical plan for nourishing your body. The bottom line with nutrition is that every single living organism requires food for its sustenance. Even the simplest plant requires nutrition. And if it grows or if it's planted in a soil and a climate that's conducive to health, then, no surprise, it will develop and thrive and grow into a healthy specimen. On the other hand, if it's planted in impoverished or devitalized soil, it certainly will not thrive. And even if it does survive, it will become a very sickly specimen. Well, unfortunately, you're no different. If you give your body the proper nutrients, you will give yourself a better chance of thriving and adapting to the stresses that you face. Whereas if you insist on fueling your body with substandard nutrition, you're going to get substandard results. So here is a very simple, balanced diet. In fact, this is probably the simplest advice and recommendations that I've come across in my almost 30-year career. And it was described by the great Thurman Fleet in the 1930s. And he simply breaks down our food into 4 groups, namely the builders, the eliminators, the congesters, and the lubricators. The builders are the proteins, and these are the foods that build the body. They include meat, fish, cheese, eggs, lentils, nuts, and so forth. And it's recommended that you eat at least 1 building food per day if not one kind per meal. Now, I say either one per day or one per meal because there is a slight word of caution here. Whilst builders or proteins are essential, builders are acid forming. So it's important that you shouldn't eat too many, otherwise it can cause problems such as arthritis and eczema. Now, the next group are the eliminators. These are the foods that tear down and eliminate waste material from the body. And everyone should have, or should aim to have, at least 2, if not 3 times as much eliminator foods than builder foods. And it's vital that you have some eliminators with every single meal. What are eliminator foods? Well, they include all fruits except for bananas and all vegetables except for beans and potatoes. And I say except those because those 3 foods contain far too much starch and sugar and are therefore considered in our next group, the congesters. What are the congesters? Well, these are basically the sweets and starches, the carbohydrates. In other words, bread, pasta, oats, potatoes, etc. And although they are a good source of energy, unfortunately, if you eat too many of them, they do exactly what their name suggests. They cause congestion. In other words, they can contribute to sinus problems or constipation. Now, the key with this group then is to only really eat them if you're hungry. In other words, only eat these if you're still hungry at the end of your meal. In other words, eat your protein and your eliminators first. Now, that leaves us with the final group, the lubricators. This group includes the oils, the butter, spreads, and fats. And these are the foods that build and lubricate. So we should have a little with each meal. So to recap, a well-arranged and balanced meal should comprise the following: 1 kind of food from group 1, 2 or 3 foods from group 2, and if you're hungry, have 1 kind of food from group 3 and have a little of group 4. And that is what constitutes a balanced and healthy diet. Now, this may sound obvious, but if you're not hungry, then don't eat. It's fine to skip the odd meal. There's no science behind these 3 set standard meals. So if you're not hungry, don't eat. And just to conclude, I suppose, just be wary of all the different fads and theories out there, because what works for one person does not necessarily mean it works for everyone. All right, we'll see you next time, and we'll speak to you then. Bye-bye.